What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hoops and Cards. Gary here. Great to be with you guys, whether you are listening to the podcast or tuning in at the YouTube channel, whatever it is, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm just glad to be back with you. We're going to talk today about the Wild Wild West. And when it comes to basketball cards, some of my favorite players to collect or invest in are right there in the NBA's Western Conference. Unfortunately, a lot of them are hurt or out, or I don't know what's going on. Kevin Durant. But you think about the Western Conference, March Madness, I love the tournament. Guys, I love seeing Fairleigh Dickinson win. I love Furman's big upset on day one. But we got to be honest right now, the Western Conference in the NBA, that's madness. Like that is cray-cray. That is out of control when you've got 7 teams jockeying for not only play-in position, but playoff position. Between Dallas, Golden State, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, the Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and the New Orleans Pelicans. Any one of those teams could be out of the playoffs in 2 weeks. And any one of them could be the 6th seed, sitting pretty there as one of the top finishers in the West. I don't really care. In fact, we did 2 episodes about the Eastern Conference. And part of that was because, man, the East is exciting. It's fun. Players are actually playing in games and not sitting out a lot. I'm just saying it's fun to see Giannis and Tatum and Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell and Julius Randle, all the guys that are playing in the Eastern Conference. Joel Embiid, is he the MVP? You know, I looked at the games played so far this season, and the Joker has played 7 more games than the big Cameroonian Joel Embiid. I don't know. Obviously, he's been dominant. Obviously, he's a top 3. Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis seem to be the top 3 on any rational person's list. It feels like, obviously, Ja Morant is off the list. LeBron is off the list. And I think Luka is off the list. Dude, you're going to sit out a bunch of games, lose a bunch more games. I don't know what's going on in Dallas. So I think those are the 3 that have a chance of a puncher's chance, if you will, at the MVP consideration this season in the NBA, which I guess is a regular season award. And a lot of guys don't care. They load manage their way to May and June. They're waiting. Like, of course, it doesn't matter if Kyrie's healthy now. It matters if Kyrie is healthy in April and May, when the Mavericks are going to need Big Shot Bob to step in when Luka is getting double teamed and triple teamed. Like, they're going to need, these guys need to play in May and June. And so as a card collector or investor, like, there are some awards that are worth considering. Like, should I buy, if I think Joel Embiid is going to win the MVP this year, do I think it's a good time to buy his rookie cards? Yes, but not only because of that, but because Philly has a playoff run coming, and so does the Joker, and so does the Freak. They've all got playoffs ahead of them. One guy who's a surprise, guy on the list for your MVP votes, and a guy whose team is surging into playoff position, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Oklahoma City Thunder, you guys, I think, have to be the pleasant surprise of the last month, the last 3 months in the West, as other teams, their stars have faded or been benched or sat or injured. Golden State continues to tailspin. The Pelicans, who used to be, if you remember December, do you remember? Don't make me sing. You do not want to hear me sing. People, nobody wants to hear me sing. That's not why you downloaded this podcast. That's not why you said, you know what, I'm going to go search for sports cards and hope that some crazy dude from Northeast Ohio is going to start rocking the JT songs in the background thinking he's Wild Wild West guy. No, the Pelicans have fallen from where they were. Partially Zion, partially Brandon Ingram, in and out, inconsistent. Partially they're just messing around with their lineups. Like that, one night it's Jose Alvarado, one night it's not. I don't understand sometimes what these coaches are doing, but we're going to look through the teams that have a chance to make the Western Conference playoffs. And if that's the case, then the superstars from those teams, I think, are worth a short-term investment in, even though you might like them long-term, because this list of teams, you've got some of the NBA's all-time greats that may or may not qualify for the playoffs. LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Chris Paul. There's a lot of good players. There's a lot of rising stars. I think every one of these teams has a rising star. Dallas has Luka. Golden State has Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson. Oklahoma City, I just said Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What do you mean, talk about him again? Like, I haven't talked about SGA enough in the last 3 years. No, he's awesome. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. The Lakers, I guess they don't have any rising star unless you count Vanderbilt, or unless you look at the way AD has been playing. Man, here's the thing. Dude's not, they can't stay healthy. I don't know. They're fun to watch. Austin Reeves lit it up for 35 points last night. Austin Reeves. I'm like, what was he in the G League? No, this was actually on an NBA court. Austin Reeves blew up the Orlando Magic. So shout out there. Utah Jazz have Lauri Markkanen, one of the best bargains in sports cards still. And then the New Orleans Pelicans, they got everybody else, man. They got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy III. I like Trey Murphy, and I can't lie. So I'm going to go through each of these maybe playoff teams, give you a couple thoughts as a collector and investor, and you do what you want with them. Guys, I don't tell you what to do. You do you. If you're in this to have fun and collect guys you like, then don't let someone else tell you to buy other players or that you're missing out or that's a dumb investment. It doesn't always have to be an investment. Maybe it's something that's just fun to have. Like when this new year Donruss basketball cards dropped, I didn't buy wax. I didn't overspend. I'm not going on to auctions on eBay or whatever trying to win. It's not whatever. It's whatnot. I'm not going on there trying to buy stuff at premium. They just dropped prices. I'm just buying the cards of players that I like. So did I get a Darius Garland numbered to 75 Donruss short print card with little basketballs all over it? Yes, I did. Did I get a LeBron James gold press proof net marbles? Yes, I did. You know, I went and got, there's collector in us, right? Are you a collector or an investor? Who cares? Do both. Yay, let's go. Let's go. Western Conference, Dallas Mavericks. Right now they are 6th in the conference, 6th. With all that big trade and all that, we got Dinwiddie, now we don't. All that, we got Kyrie. Are they going to pass the ball? Is somebody going to shoot today? The Dallas Mavericks, they be slipping. They have, in the last 10 games, they've won only 4 of them. They should have won more. They look explosive at times. I remember one game, at least, where both of those studs, Luka and Kyrie, had 40 plus. But they're both ball dominant players who haven't been healthy, and they don't have a heck of a lot of support. Like, you can say what you want about Josh Green as a prospect, but he doesn't show up half the time. You can say what you want about Christian Wood, but he's really not the big man that team needs. He roams the 3-point line. And again, some nights he shows up, some nights he doesn't. I don't love Dallas's ability to keep that spot at number 6, but I do think they're going to make the play in, and it's going to be interesting because maybe Kyrie and Luka have already decided if this is working or not. And that decision and that question about what Kyrie's going to do in the offseason, is he going to re-sign with Dallas? What would you do if you were Kyrie? Aren't you glad you're not, though, flat earth guy? Come on, like, ruin 4 franchises guy. Like, no, I'm not interested in buying Kyrie Irving for that reason. If you like his game, he is fun to watch. I've got a bobblehead. That's probably enough. But when it comes to Luka Doncic, is this the year that he wins the championship? Will there ever be a year that he wins the championship? I don't know. Do I love him as a long-term superstar in the league? Yeah. Does Dallas have the ability or what are they doing? So personally, I'm not investing in any Dallas Maverick. I like the idea of a short-term flip on Luka rookies because I think they can get into a series and have some big moments and have us all saying, man, Luka's really good. Luka's good. Like, great. Water's wet. Kleenexes are soft. And I don't know. Kentucky lost. Let me move on. Golden State. Golden State is 36-36, and they've been talking a lot. Like, I think Draymond Green has spent more time ripping on Dylan Brooks than he has actually helping his team. He spent more time punching teammates like Jordan Poole, and Klay Thompson has spent more time trash talking the other teams. Like, these guys better start winning. It's winning time, Golden State. It's get some home court advantage. You aren't the team you were last year. I don't know where Andrew Wiggins is. I don't know what they're doing. Do they have the ability to turn it on in a moment's notice? Absolutely. Do I want them to? I mean, sure, the league's better when Golden State's on. Is there anybody worth investing in right now as a Golden State Warrior fan? Here's a little nickel's worth of free advice. Sometimes the card market, the sports card market, reacts more profound, more seriously, or with more buying power and more demand when a player or a team does something they've never done before. Well, guess what? Golden State's done it before. They've won championships, been here, done that. Is there any player that's going to step up and do something that he's never done for the Golden State Warriors? I don't think Dante DiVincenzo counts in this conversation. You might say, hey, man, if they've got another title run in them, Steph is thebomb.com. There it is. Nate, Julie, I threw it down there. Thebomb.com. Investment for now or later, Steph Curry. Absolutely. Not rocket science. But it is time we get to team number 8. I'm going to do 2 more teams and then take a break from it. Oklahoma City Thunder are number 8. They're not number 14 this year. They're not tanking. They didn't shelf Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in January like they've done the last, 3 years? 2 years? 3 years? 2 years? Oklahoma City, man, they are for real. They're for real, and they are exciting and fun to watch. They are rising up and beating teams they should not beat, like they did last night to the Phoenix Suns. Take that, D-Book. Take that, CP3, whatever your nickname is. Like, man, Oklahoma City, you want to talk about somebody who's never done this before? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in a playoff series, averaging 40 a game. That's going to help his card values. That's going to have everybody saying, he's got a better supporting cast than Luka Doncic does. What if he's got a better supporting cast going forward than Devin Booker does? Well, KD can change that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of young players that I like on Oklahoma City, and I'm just going to give you a couple of thoughts. Josh Giddey is solid, has potential all-star in him. However, scorers are what move the needle in the card market. Long-term guys that score points, guys that make big shots in big moments. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is as young and super as any young player in the game. Maybe he's number 1. Could you imagine if in 3 years we're looking back on the draft classes of 18, 19, 20, classes with Luka, Trey, Zion, Ja, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and we're looking back and saying, you know what? Shai might be the best player and have the best career of any of those guys. That's on the table. If Oklahoma City's contending and next year they add Chet Holmgren, they've still got a ton of draft picks. They're surrounded with young, talented studs like Jalen Williams, Jalen. That guy is my favorite rated rookie. He's already had his pop, his breakout. 10 games in a row, averaging more than 20 points a game, except for last night. Thanks a lot, FanDuel. I had to pick the night that he doesn't score 20. But my point here is there are guys to watch on this team. They have a lot of parts that they could move in a trade. Lou Dort, Poku, Trey Mann. They've got players that'll fit long-term. Jalen Williams, Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren. They've got some guys, and they're going to be fun to watch. Do I think they're going to make it to the playoffs and be in a series? Yeah, I do. They got that dog in them. They're ready to go. So Oklahoma City, I like SGA as an investment. Don't go buying base because everybody bought base and watered down the market. Go find something else from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and flip it in as soon as they qualify for that playoff series, or put it online, listed high, and somebody will start sending you offers the moment they see what he's doing head to head against Luka in game 6. Like, come on, Shai. Number 9, Minnesota T-Wolves. Oh, sad. Rudy Gobert doesn't fit today's game. Karl Anthony Towns can't stay healthy, and even when he does, the card market didn't care, and now Anthony Edwards is injured. Guys, I looked at when I saw that I saw it on the box score. I'm like, oh crap, Anthony Edwards only played like 8 minutes. This ain't good. And then I see pictures of him limping off the court. He's one of the bright young shining stars in the sports card world. Like, I have, and I like the Anthony Edwards cards I have. We just had this conversation about John Morant. We've just had this conversation about LaMelo Ball and Cade Cunningham, like 4 of the best young scoring guards are out. And I don't know how long Anthony Edwards is out. I just know I like him a lot. I like him a lot as an investment. And he's an off-season buy for me, for us. He's an all-star. But hey, Minnesota, I don't see them making the play-in now. How do you make the play-in without those guys? Even the dude that I think on the bench could step up and score for them, he's been out. Like Jalen Noel is out. I like Jaden McDaniels. I like Mike Conley. I don't think they're going to be able to hold off the Lakers or Utah for that matter. So there you go. We'll talk about 3 more teams in a minute, but I would just say hold on your Anthony Edwards, hold or buy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, hold or set to sell Steph Curry's, sell Luka Doncic or Kyrie Irving after a big game that they have in the playoffs. Those teams may or may not make it in. So we got a few more to talk about, though, don't we? See you in a minute.